Hello everyone, I'm the lovely Debbie McGee.
And I'm the even lovelier Debbie Arnold.
Some people think so.
Yes, exactly.
And welcome to the show. We've got so much on it for you today. I'm very excited because we've got a top aesthetic pioneer, Dr. Patrick Tracy, with us.
Yes, he's wonderful, a fantastically interesting and rather funny man. Also, we've got Nat's Nuggets and more from our new girl on the block, Ate.
And surgery day for our very own Dee. So stay with us for Beauty Investigates.
We have him.
We do,
He's
indeed.
here. He's here at last, flown in from Ireland. Gosh, his arms must be tired. It's such an old joke, isn't it?
It is, yeah, bury that one. We're delighted to welcome Dr. Patrick Tracy to the studio. Hello, Patrick.
Hi, and I'm flew in from Paris to Dublin and to
And-
Southampton.
So your arms must be even tighter.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. So, Patrick, you've done so much in your life, but where did it all begin?
Originally, I grew up in Northern Ireland. I wanted to do plastic surgery, but Margaret Thatcher took my grant. 1981, you remember, she pulled money out of science and education.
How does a boy from Northern Ireland want to be a cosmetic surgeon?
Why not?
Yeah.
We would have got a lot of practice in the early days. I've had an interest in history, you know, and when I was about 13 or 14, I won the British Amateur Young Scientist competition in the days of Jim Callaghan and Magnus Pike.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was a disruptor very early on. I came up with this method of making mum beings grow secondary to sound. So as a consequence, it is around the time that Prince Charles started talking to plants.
Yeah.
Whether the two are associated or not, we don't know. But some people draw the analogy between the two things. And I then, the year afterwards, won the Aer Lingus one. So I've always been a pioneer in terms of looking at things differently.
I know that recently you've won a big award from China, but you've won loads. And you've also won Man of the Year in Ireland.
Yeah, I won Irish Man of the Year a few weeks ago, which was nice for humanitarian
So,
work.
yeah.
It's always nice to be recognised for giving back.
We're going to have you on a few other shows as well because your life is just incredible, and I know you're going to talk to us about some of the treatments and things that can help our viewers.
Sure. Yeah.
Listen, your book. Tell us
Yes.
about your book.
Don't give up on your dreams.
I've faced many challenges in my life. First, financial ones in terms of getting through medicine when Margaret took my grant away halfway through. So I had to come up with innovative ways, which included smuggling cars to Germany in the period that so sometimes you've got to balance risk against opportunity and you've got to be a bit brave. And then I became a prisoner of Saddam Hussein.
As you do.
You know, well, as you do, yeah. And I know listeners saying, well, God, you know, I've got cancer now. This is a long way from being in a prison in Iraq. But it's the same sort of insecurities you're facing, you know, and what's the future going to hold? You know, in terms of not losing hope, in terms of turning, I suppose, what seems like hopelessness into an opportunity for growth. For the
So
rest of
don't
life.
give up on your dreams is
Yes.
going to be our mantra
Yes.
for everybody.
But I'm the
Or
same.
they'll
I
give up
just,
on you.
you know, people say be realistic, and I say if you're realistic, you won't do anything.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
So
'cause
don't be realistic
Sick.
and don't give up on your dreams.
Well-
Yeah, I think you have to take an active mindset and say the past is the past. I can do nothing about it. I am where I am now. So what do I do
Yeah.
with this?
And also, when you think about the past, it weakens you because
Oh,
you go
totally.
back into it.
Oh,
But if
totally.
you're in
you
the
get
present,
overwhelmed with
yeah,
guilt and
yeah. But
yes.
if you're in the present, you are strong. But if you're
Yes.
in the future, you're weak as well.
Yes.
So you've just got to keep here
Absolutely.
and now.
And I think it responds also to our sort of, Debbie, to the mindset of the people who meet you.
Yes.
You know, and we know this from Botox, that sort of people who get toxed, it's not just that they look better, it's because people respond to them in a different way because they don't look tired, they're interesting. You know, people who look cross or who look tired and their eyes have dropped. I mean, girls in the Roman Empire used this to their advantage. Many years ago when they were chatting up guys, they took belladonna and dropped it in their eyes so it widened their pupils so the person thought they were really interested in them. So we're just doing that in another fashion 2,000 years later.
We have that in Natalie's Nugget. I mean, the evolution of aesthetic medicine, though, has been quite astonishing, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Yes, I wrote a book recently on the evolution of aesthetic medicine and who has the territory. And we better not forget that King George in 1745 started the Royal Colleges, so he took surgery from the barbers doing it, which is the reason we still have a barber's pole on most surgical signs, you know, to make it a regulated industry. But the School of Athena, back 2,000 years ago, were looking at this also, and the people who practiced aesthetic medicine in its form then, which was peels and pigmentation, and you know, actually weren't allowed into the school. But for a period they were. Then the church, of course, went against it. So particularly a big problem in Britain today. So doctors be doing it, so nurses be doing it, so beauticians be doing it. And this is an age-old problem. It's nothing new, you know, as to who should do what or who owns the territory of doing what. But we can chat about that in one of the later programmes.
For now, it's just been wonderful. Thank you very much.
Well,
Thank you,
also.
darling. And now we have another of Atte's investigations. Aren't you excited?
I'm very excited. I'm waiting to watch.
Hi everyone and welcome, gather round. I have some beauty gems for you today. Look what I've got here. This is my mate Katie Brindle's body sculptor from the Hey You method. It is absolutely fantastic. It helps to sculpt your body. I use it every day. As I come out the shower, I like to oil up, and you can use it this little bit here on your arm. This you can get for your neck, and you can use it along your thighs and the whole body. Basically, it's like giving yourself a massage, but it is great for water retention, it's great for bloating, it's great for easing tension in your body, and it's made from the most beautiful stone, which is very healing as well. It's about loving yourself, honouring your body, having the time to literally anoint yourself with oil and then give yourself a massage. Katie is all about preventative medicine. She's all about loving yourself, healing yourself, giving yourself little moments of grace so you don't get really, really, really ill. And I think giving yourself little moments, little snacks during the day of wellness and tender loving care is so good for you. And this is one of them, the Body Sculptor. Enjoy it, have fun. You know what? Also great home defense. Bye-bye.
And now it's Dee's surgery day. What's wrong with
I'm
you?
so nervous.
Why?
Well, because it's Dee's surgery day. How can you be so calm?
Oh, I'm sure she's nervous, but we've
No,
confidence.
she's not as nervous as I am. It's when it's somebody else, isn't it? Oh, God.
No, let's find out. It's going to be wonderful.
Okay, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
When I look in the mirror, I feel that, and I've always felt this, that I have a little jowly bit here. It's here and here. It knocks my confidence a bit. It's that. There. Obviously, as you get a little bit older, you start sagging a bit. I know that it could be improved. I'm quite happy with the rest of my face. I want to be the best version of myself. That's me when I was about 25. I was introduced to this guy, Dr. Shiva Kumar, who I absolutely love and adore, and I think he's amazing, and I trust him. So what you see there is what I don't like. So I'm having a lower facelift. I feel that it's going to be a life-changing event for me. It's D-Day today. I'm here. A couple of days ago I thought, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I don't particularly like hospitals. And I thought, is it going to be painful and all those sort of worst case scenarios? I think you take signs, don't you? You take signs from what people say to you, and it's like, some people guilt trip you, don't they, and say, oh, well, I don't think you should do that, and you don't need to do that. But it's how you feel about yourself. A lot of people have actually said it's a really great idea. And yesterday, my car was surrounded with white feathers. And I thought, the angels are with me. I trust Dr. Shiva. Shiva Kumar is probably the only person I would put my life in his hands.
The surgery is going to take about 3.5 hours to do. Dee will be under general anaesthetic, so she'll be asleep, she won't know anything about it at all. And the idea is to try and remove all of the excess skin from the lateral part of her face and around her neck. What we're going to do is we're going to try and tighten up all of this skin that's under your chin, remove the skin from around here and get this looking a lot more tighter and chiseled. I've been talking to Dee about this procedure for a few months now. In addition to that, a lot of the skin will be a bit more taut, just to give you a more refreshed look.
Thank you.
On the bottom part of your face as well.
Thank you so much.
We had our initial consultation where I really tried to find out what her expectations were and what she wanted to achieve, and importantly whether that could be delivered, and if there's a surgical procedure that I could do that could actually deliver that. Then she's had some time to think about it. She's come back and then we've discussed that procedure in a lot more detail, including, importantly, the risks, complications, what may go wrong, because that's really important as well.
I know that Shiv has got other ops today, which is quite reassuring, really, because it's like routine for him, isn't it? Not for me, though, because this is the first and last facelift I'll ever have.
We've got a very experienced anaesthetist and a really good theatre team that I work with all the time. And like I say, this is a type of surgery that I do very commonly.
I'm really lucky to be in great hands.
I think really importantly, she'll be very well looked after on the wards afterwards as well. So when she goes into the anaesthetic room, she'll be there with the anaesthetist and his assistant, and he'll talk to you about how he wishes to send you to sleep and get you to count from 10 backwards, and I think by the time you get to 7 or 6, you'll probably be very, very asleep. And then actually the next time is when she wakes up and she's got a new face.
It's time to talk sexual rejuvenation with one of Harley Street's finest, Dr. Wakil.
Okay, today we're going to talk about a very important topic, vaginal laxity. Vaginal laxity is basically laxity in the vaginal wall, so it's not as tight as it used to be. What are the causes of vaginal laxity? It could be age, delivery, pregnancy, hormonal changes, so many things. As a result of that affects the relationship. When the lady does not feel that she is quite as tight, she obviously does not feel the intercourse as much, and this causes a lot of repercussions in the sexual relationship. What do? Before, we used to do something called vaginoplasty, straightforward cutting and stitches. We cut the vaginal canal, we take a little bit of it, and then we stitch it back, and then we restore it. But now, with the latest technology that we have available, we have much more sophisticated tool to use in the clinic, in-house, office procedure, 15, 20 minutes. What is radiofrequency? It's a heated probe we insert inside the vagina, and then we heat it 360, and as a result of that, we shrink the vaginal canal and make it tight now. So, let me show you. Can you imagine that this vaginal canal will take a head of a baby to come out? I really feel for you ladies. So, imagine that after delivery, what happens? This is the vaginal canal. This is how it becomes, more or less. What is the implication of that? The implication, as I said, is the lack of sensitivity. The ladies do not really feel much. The man also doesn't feel that much. And bear in mind that as men grow older, they start losing the sensitivity on the penis. In a few sessions, could be 4 sessions, up to 6 sessions, introducing heat inside here with a probe that go 360 degrees all over the vaginal canal. And as a result of that, it shrinks the tissue, and it shrinks the vaginal canal. This is very useful for mild to moderate cases, and satisfaction from this treatment is great. We've done thousands of it. It restores the sexual relationship with their partners and regain their happiness.
Talk about wrinkles, those sly little creases that sneak up on your face like uninvited guests at a party, except these guests never leave, they keep bringing their friends. Now, I have to tell you, my fear of wrinkles didn't start recently. It all began when my son was 3 years old. Picture this. It was bedtime, a sweet, quiet moment. I leaned down to kiss his adorable little face goodnight, and suddenly his eyes narrowed. He reached up, touched my little face, and said, "Mum, the lines on your face, do they hurt?" Do they hurt? I was 36! I nearly tucked him into the washing machine that evening. Now I'm older, you know what? They do hurt, but Not physically, oh no. Wrinkles hurt in a completely different way. They're a timeline etched into your face by some cruel cosmetic artist with a blunt chisel. But you know what? Much as I complain, I've come to realise that wrinkles are a kind of badge of honour. They show that I've lived, laughed, worried, loved and cried, sometimes all in the same day. They tell my story, though honestly I wish my story sometimes had a better editor. So here's to wrinkles, everyone. They may be terrifying, they may be relentless, and yes, they may hurt, but they are proof that we've survived the chaos of life. And one day, when my son is 36 years old, I'll place my hand on his face and say, darling, those lines, do they hurt?
We're delighted, aren't we, to welcome into the studio Laura. So you're from the Ozone Clinic.
I am.
So that gives you a hint, ozone.
Ozone, yes.
Yeah.
It sounds like you've come from outer space. What is it? How does it work?
So I'm a naturopath, a nutritionist and a functional medicine practitioner, and I use ozone in my clinic to support chronic conditions, to help them heal, but also we use it for longevity, treating you on the inside so that the outside will look better. So it improves your skin, nails and hair.
How do you administer it? Is it something you breathe in or?
Breathing it in, it is toxic to our lungs. It's an oxidative stress therapy, much like cryotherapy is, much like cold plunge therapy is, and even saunas. They create what's called a hormetic effect, which is a little bit of stress on the body for the body to react. The way we do administer the treatments are in several ways. We can administer it in a sauna through steam and ozone mixed together. We can use what's called insufflation, and insufflation is really inserting it into the orifices of the body, so into ears, into the nasal cavity, into the vagina and into the rectum. So we can, that's one application.
There's too many choices for me there.
Up your nose or up your bum?
Up the nose, for instance, you would treat things like sinusitis. So if you get bunged up sinuses, the bacteria, if you've got like an infection that's kind of lingering and won't go, we can then get the ozone to sit it can travel up the nose and into the sinus cavity and get that moving and get that out. So we do all of those kind of types of treatments, and then we do intravenous. So that is when we take some blood, we draw some blood, we ozonate that and put that back into the body.
Which way do you do it?
We draw the blood out first, mix it with the blood, and then reinsert it into the vein.
So you have a cannula, yeah?
You have a cannula.
So how long does this take, each treatment?
So one pass with it doing it intravenously can take between 10 and 15 minutes. And so up to 10 will take about an hour and a half to 2 hours.
And all different places?
No, we'd just do that in the vein.
That one, so you just keep going?
We keep going, and people often ask, how do you know that you're not treating the same bit of blood? Well, the blood is continuously moving throughout the body. Once the ozone hits the blood, it's really sending little tiny messages up to the rest of the body through the blood to produce antioxidants, and then what's left over is the oxygen, which then is delivered throughout the body.
So it's hitting the cells initially, isn't it?
Yes. So we want to treat at a cellular level because our body is made up of 50 to 70 trillion cells, and those cells, they're all like little factories, and they're all doing a massive job, and they all come together, and when they come together as a group, they form a tissue. When that tissue comes together, that forms an organ. And when the organs come together, they form a system, and then a multiple of systems form us as the human. So if we go back down the chain, we need to look after the cell at a cellular level for the systems and the organs and the tissues to function in the best way. And so that's how we work with ozone, and by getting it in at a cellular level.
So when it goes up your nose or in your ears or up your bum, that's not the same way?
different. So that will be absorbed in a different way.
So how do you get that in? I mean, I know you've just put it in a...
So up the nose will go into the sinus cavity because it's antifungal.
And then how do you put it up your nose?
So it is syringed, and you have to do it in a particular way so that you don't inhale it. But it is very safe, but we talk you through that. And then that goes into the sinus cavities.
And didn't you do it in your ears?
Yes, we've got like a little stethoscope that will go into the ears.
And up your bum?
Yes, so that's done with a catheter, and then we do that very slowly. And if you do it rectally, it's absorbed into your system. It also can kill off what's called the anaerobic bacteria, which are generally the bad bacteria in our colons. If we have an overgrowth of bad bacteria, by delivering it in that method, we can kill off those bad bacteria, but the ones that don't like oxygen.
So when you've had the treatment, however many passes, how does it leave you feeling?
The result we want is we want you to be energised, and you feel like clearer, your head feels clearer, more clarity of thought, less brain fog. So it's the energetic feeling that you feel. It's kind of subtle, but you just think, oh, I feel pretty good today. I feel like I used to feel. I forgot how I felt like that.
So where can we find you?
So I'm in Winchester. My clinic is in the country, so that when you arrive, there's parking, there's no stress.
What sort of chronic diseases would you treat with this treatment?
Chronic fatigue, Lyme's disease, those kind of chronic conditions. Type 2 diabetes or cardiovascular problems.
Absolutely fascinating. I just love it. I love the sound of it. I think it's absolutely amazing. And all this good work, I mean, it's obviously going to catch on. I mean, where did it start?
So it's been around for many, many years, hundreds of years. It was used in the First World War. It was used by the Germans to treat trench foot. Our generators make it manually, and we replicate really what nature has done.
It's been absolutely an eye-opener for me.
Yeah, me too.
And, it sounds wonderful. I'm thinking, actually, I have to get more energy and feeling good.
Yes, exactly.
We could be up for it,
we could be, having your blood
ozoned.
do.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us and giving us all that information, which I'm sure everyone at home is going to absolutely love and absorb.
Thank you.
And we'll be back, won't we?
We'll be back.
With some more
next
beauty.
time with more Beauty Investigates. Who knows what we're going to come up with next?
Even I don't know.
No.